In the rural California community of Cool, wailing gas generators echo through the foothills for the second fire season in a row.
Yep, every time the power goes out, this has to come out.
Stephanie Buss and her coworker have to beat the punishing cool heat.
The 9 notices I received, the power will be out always 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
But their power's been shut off by PG&E again.
The first one was May 1st, then May 4th, then May 10th, May 18th, May 21st, May 28th, May 30th, June 7th, and June 10th.
Frustrated, Stephanie reached out to us. She already lived through shutoffs like these last summer when PG&E sent crews out here for this.
To make our power system safer and more reliable, we're transforming your hometown utility from the underground up.
After sparking fires that killed more than 100 people and burned down tens of thousands of homes, PG&E ran ads on TV, including on ABC 10, to promote its plan to bury power lines underground. It's meant to keep trees from falling on live wires, which is how PG&E's grid sparked most of those fires.
Since 2021, we've buried hundreds of miles of lines, with thousands more to come.
I was very happy when I saw those commercials coming out saying they were going to do this, but what I see is not what they promoted on TV.
After PG&E started undergrounding its lines here on Indian Rock Road, the neighbors were shocked to see PG&E suddenly stop, pull those power lines out of the ground, and shoot them back up into the air. The crews PG&E sent this summer are all working above ground, putting new bare metal wires on top of new PG&E poles on this dry, tree-covered hillscape. Does that feel like what, false advertising?
Absolutely, 100%. Well, they said they were going to underground all these lines. I was excited about that, but apparently their cost became too great. I don't know. They stopped.
Now that PG&E's done burying the lines here,
I'm going to reset my odometer here where the power line comes back out of ground and drive up to the spot where it goes underground.
Stephanie helped us measure. Of her 4-mile drive into town, how much undergrounding did PG&E actually do?
So we're at 0.3 miles. We got 0.3 miles underground. The rest is still above ground.
If the idea is fire safety, the safest thing would be to have no poles and no wires over your road.
Correct. But
And
we
what
have,
do you have?
We have more poles. Now we have poles next to poles and lines next to lines.
Sure enough, on the majority of Stephanie's road, we saw new PG&E poles standing right next to the old ones. Still there, with the tops chopped off and the old AT&T phone line attached.
During fires, poles fall down. You got lines across the road, so why didn't you do what you said on TV with all those ads? Why isn't my road system underground?
That's what Stephanie wants to ask PG&E's CEO, Patty Poppe, about the ad campaign.
Undergrounding power lines in the highest fire threat areas makes us safer, and it's less expensive in the long run.
Well, Patty lied on TV that everything was going underground.
Patty Poppe, who's been making promises in all those commercials that you and I are paying for, because the ratepayer pays for those commercials. Those promises are all false.
Loretta Lynch is a former state utilities commissioner. She used to regulate PG&E and its rates.
What's really happening is PG&E is proposing actions that pump up their profits, pump up their bottom line.
We contacted CEO Patty Poppe for this story. She didn't agree to take our questions.
Her salary, what I hear, is outrageous. So they're raising our rates to pay somebody a lot of money instead of making it safe for us.
Poppe's public relations team told us PG&E uses computer modeling to decide which miles of lines it's going to bury. Other miles get new poles meant to be stronger, which we saw on Indian Rock Road, or wires covered in protective plastic, which we didn't see.
It's still greed, I feel, because they've raised our rates and they're making all that extra money.
Greed was the motive named by local and federal prosecutors who together convicted PG&E of 91 felony crimes during the past decade. including the San Bruno explosion and PG&E's criminally negligent sparking of the deadliest wildfire in California history, the 2018 Camp Fire. PG&E pleaded guilty to 84 felony counts of manslaughter.
Our government, state government, let them off the hook. I think that there should have been some more, very much more severe penalties with regards to all the people that died.
PG&E used federal bankruptcy court to shield itself from the consequences of its disasters. Our investigative reporting also revealed Governor Gavin Newsom hired PG&E's longtime law firm to draft new state laws bailing PG&E out.
I think there's been a lot of enabling going on in Sacramento.
The prosecutors who convicted PG&E of manslaughter are skeptical of the company's undergrounding campaign, which Poppy herself announced.
We are committing to bury 10,000 miles of lines.
She rolled out the plan in 2021, while the Dixie Fire was still burning, consuming almost 1 million acres, including the town of Greenville and more than half of Lassen Volcanic National Park.
All PG&E's learned from its history is how to better conceal its crimes in the future.
10,000 miles is a lot of undergrounding, but it's only 10% of PG&E's entire grid. The other 90,000 miles of power lines are staying above ground. But the monopoly didn't put that in the ad. They call you a customer, but do you feel like a customer with this company?
No, I feel like prey. We're just taken advantage of.
The neighbors on Indian Rock Road said no one from PG&E asked what they wanted, and when PG&E came to underground, nobody told them it would only be a fraction of a mile. Do you feel any safer from wildfire?
No.
Stephanie pays plenty on her power bills. She wants to see PG&E treat this job like her and her neighbors' lives depend on it. Because the truth is, they do. How many ways do you have out of here if there's another fire?
This is my only access out of my house, and the road system is a one way in, one way out.